Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I do apologize for the delay, but there have been a few unexpected issues at the venue, but now we're ready to go with game number 2 of this first semifinals of the day here. Dagger Nation versus Underdogs. Dagger Nation, if you want to remember here, they had a Luna that was extremely farmed. They ended up winning the game, just running them down, winning, basically throwing the net worth at them, at the Underdogs. And basically just some big team fights going high ground. And now we're going to look to try and do perhaps something similar in game number 2. This time the Warlock makes it through and picked up immediately here by Dagger Nation.
Oh no, a Warlock draft. That's going to be so fun. But yeah, pretty big lead in the first game. Second game will be a little bit of a style change with the Warlock. A little bit more active on the map, I would say, or more cooldown focused. The last game for them was pretty much just, we're gonna farm a little bit, and then I guess we just run into the tower. If we have access to them or not, we don't care. Underdogs, they really have to think what they do about this early on. Like they have the double pick coming up. Wouldn't be too surprised to see a Beastmaster coming straight off the bat. Beside the Beastmaster, just pick your favorite duo lane. You have 2 picks to work with. There's pretty much nothing banned out beside the Undying maybe. Doom falling off a favor anyways. It's a smart ban though, besides the Warlock is there.
Well, there's a lot open here. Night Stalker, that's another one. Still Windrunner, still Scarab Mage, Witch Doctor.
I still feel like if you have the chance to go for Beastmaster first pick, you should go for it. He just feels so strong. Like his ability to solo kill almost any hero in the game if he gets some farm, the lane pressure he established, never being able to leave your carry alone against him, having the access as the modifier, he just looks super powerful right now.
This commentary is brought to you by the Beastmaster Foundation.
Wow, powered by Beastmaster.
It's gonna be Night Stalker Disruptor, so it's a silence draft. And I can't say I hate that up against the Warlock, so looking further beyond the laning stage, like having a lot of control to make sure that you cannot be counter-initiated on by the Warlock Golem, either with just Night Stalker flying at him, silencing him up for a couple of seconds, or Disruptor just catching him inside the kinetic field and Static Storm combination alongside a few other heroes, ideally. It's one of the better ways to deal with that in the long run, I think. Because Warlock is really going to get a lot of farm to counteract that.
I feel like this is the perfect spot to pick up the Windranger. You're in the second pick. You already have made your position 5 very clear, so you have an open position 4 pick that can flex. Even though we mostly see you in the position 4. Can offlane if needed. It's a Lifestealer.
It's a bit less conventional. See that picked up without the first phase, without any sort of combos already on the field, obviously.
Man, if they only had a Beastmaster against this raging Lifestealer, right?
Haha. They can still pick it up if they want to. Night Stalker can be the 4 role.
He can flex.
But I wonder if they thought this one through, because Lifestealer, even if it's not the Beastmaster, he can be counted out simply by just picking up a Razor or something like that. So I'd be very surprised if they didn't ban this one out in particular. But yeah. Even beyond that, I mean, even Night Stalker or Disruptor, if they come at him out of the fog or out of nighttime, silence him up before he can rage, then he's a sitting duck.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm not a fan of the Lifestealer whatsoever right now. There's also, if they want to run the Night Stalker dedicated on that offlane, Underdogs can go, hey, we go Bane, we go any hero with control spells. There's still a banning phase coming up, so they're gonna make sure there's like Spirit Breaker maybe out of the pool, Storm Spirit ban out. Like these kind of heroes, just limiting the Lifestealer. One pick I would like to see from Dagger Nation would be something going alongside of Slaughter for the offlane. He isn't too affected by the Disruptor, he can turn a fight. And you have that good Night Bomb, and he can punch through a Night Stalker quite easily.
Yeah. There's still plenty of combos in the pool. I mean, Starter's one, others would be Legion Commander, Axe even, would work in a similar fashion. Then you start to think about the mid lane, and there's a Slaughter ban even.
Yeah, I think it's the right call. I think Slaughter is highly underrated right now as an offlaner. Especially in this dual lane meta, he is just so powerful because you have a really good stun. If you combo him up with like any armor removal with a Vengeful Spirit, for example, you have a really powerful dual lane. It doesn't have a lot of sustain, but you can always turn on supports, and it's a Lycan ban in response. That's reasonable with the lifestealer on the field. What is the carry for Underdogs? Like, there's so many options. From Monkey King to Troll Warlord to Luna to pretty much anything. And Dagger Nation, they look so cornered.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, whatever they feel comfortable with.
10 seconds remaining.
That just combos up
5
well. That can make you sort of
seconds
disruptor, just locking people down.
Yeah.
So,
And something that gets out of open wounds for free is needed. Like, either somebody who builds into the Manta style, somebody who has magic immunity from the very get-go, Skybound out, might be just the Faceless Void straight up.
Yeah.
Won't be good.
powerful indeed.
They have good bans for that as well. It's not known to when you punch a hole through the void. Like Scout of Silence out of the question, no Elder Titan to screw up in the Chronosphere. Now on the other side on Dagger Nation, Doom is out of the pool, so why not? There's also no Caudal for the Chrono. I would like the Faceless Void to just come out straight up.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, there's a little bit of time left to think about it. Yeah, there's really very little else to go on here. It's
Alchemist.
Do you want to show your call pick here, or do you want to just go for the offlaner now? If Night Stalker doesn't end up in that position.
I think you pick something like a flex pick, like Sand King, Neeks Assassin, so you don't show it completely. You just show we have two melee offlane. Or you pick Underlord, because, you know, Underlord. I'm not sure that was the pick, to be honest. That was the only. That was
God, so lifesteal will not really have too much of an impact even later on. Well, these will be mitigated quite heavily.
It forces them immediately into this dual lane scenario, though.
10 seconds
And
remaining.
Underlord with Night
There's
Stalker
nothing wrong
isn't the
with dual
best
lanes.
lane.
5 seconds remaining.
Oh, nothing wrong with them. I just feel like there's stronger dual lanes than Underlord plus Night Stalker, unless they want to put a Night Stalker in the safe lane and go disrupt the off lane. But then he might struggle because Warlock can't just out heal his harassment damage.
Yeah, I mean, if that's any two people you run up against Warlock Lifestealer, you can sustain through that. If it's just the 1v1, Lifestealer will be fine himself, or if he gets a couple of levels, he might just be fine without the Warlock altogether. Even though against Night Stalker and Underlord, just depends on how many levels Night Stalker gets and what the nighttime timings are. How much health points the Lifestealer can accumulate himself to be able to just tank through the silence as necessary.
Dire
I would like to
But,
see something like an Abaddon here.
It puts some more pressure on Underdogs to actually be able to brawl and stay in lane themselves, just to get experience, because that's the big linchpin for Underlord. If he gets experience early on, say for Night Stalker, really, for that matter. Like,
Yeah, I can see it work
stay
out.
in lane.
I'm just worried about it.
Yeah.
It's
10
I feel like there were so many better choices they could win for.
It's not the type of
5
offlane that
seconds
really bullies the
remaining.
safe laner, but at the very least, that's what lifesteal gives you anyway. It's a hero that's very hard to be zoned out just because of this innate sustain, not to mention the Warlock on top of that. So I can understand why they would want to go for a lane that is a bit of a wash, ideally. More of a more traditional offlane where you the enemy carry gets
Radiant
decent enough
team
farm, you
pick.
don't really put too much pressure on him,
Ranger at
but
your
still get your
service.
levels. And then you look towards the later parts of the game where you have the Underlord kind of to put your team fight around, essentially. Or build your team fight around.
Alright, we have the Wind Ranger coming out. And they have an answer to life, and they can pick off Warlock and Sun King easily enough, sort of.
10 seconds
Still,
remaining.
this is a core wind, right? Like, I doubt we're gonna see a core
5
Night Stalker.
seconds remaining.
Just doesn't
Yeah.
look good.
There's very little
Yeah, it
chances
has to
in
be.
the middle, Windrunner.
They have a surprise for the last pick. That's what Dan's telling me. We're totally gonna mess up Underlord Underdogs. Just so everybody's warned. I'm gonna mess that
You
up
will.
100%.
You jinx yourself there, like
It will happen. I just want to warn everybody because I'm gonna screw that up at least 2 times.
well, at least you haven't said Underdagger yet.
Oh
Dire
god.
Past
team
you there.
Lena.
Alina, that's a reasonable pick. That's a really good answer to Wind. One of the rare heroes that actually match up against her in mid. It still feels always like a coin flip though. Like if you fall behind, Wind just stomps you with the power shot.
Yeah, like Ads is really crazy about the Windrunner and thinks it's OP, and
10
he's
seconds.
calling
Oh,
the
she
power
is.
shot a Laguna Blade on a low cooldown and with massive
5
range.
seconds remaining.
I
Hit
agree.
it point blank, it's pretty
I
crazy.
absolutely agree. The fact that you can throw a shackle on level 1 without hitting a tree behind it, and you can 100% land a power shot is way too strong. It is 400 damage roughly that you dish out every 12 seconds or so with just the shackle as a setup. Even if you even need down, it's basically a punch hook every 12 seconds that is really hard to dodge and goes through creeps.
Can you please agree not to talk about Pudge if Pudge is not even in the game? It just tilts me so much.
Don't you get hooked on this topic again?
God damn it.
If you eat too much into it, it might dismember you and affect the quality of your
10
cast.
seconds remaining.
And I don't want you to rot away here.
5 seconds remaining.
No, I might have to talk to a few people and rethink this whole co-casting thing if it's gonna go on like that.
What am I for you? Just a bunch of flesh heap? Alright, let's move to the draft before it gets absolutely nuts, because we have some bans coming out on the side of Dragon Nation. There's the Luna out. On the
Be happy you can't see me right now. Or that I can't see you, more like...
And on the side of Underdogs, it's the Tide Hunter band out. I like the Tide band. I think that's probably centered around the melee core that is coming out. I think Troll is still a valid option. Wouldn't make sense with the Tide band though. So Gyro last pick. What is it? Is this CK? This could be a CK draft. CK Juggernaut PL. I tend to favor the CK here. I think PL has too much AoE to deal with.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't think you can get... I think CK is too greedy.
5
He needs something that can fight with the other Lord and Disruptor. He needs an extra damage dealer on top of the Windrunner.
Monkey King too greedy?
Monkey King would work, I think. PL somewhat, but there's plenty of counters.
Ooh, is this just where you go Ursa?
You could.
That would be a really, really good pick. Nope,
I
we
had
pick
that
Morph.
in the back of my mind.
Yeah, the gyro made the decision flip to the Morph, I think. That's just too much of an opportunity.
Yeah.
Fatal Bonds for a Morphling.
So
Wow.
Underdogs, they have a decent mix of like good nukes for the mid game to fight around and be able to burst people down. Beyond that, like, they're going to rely on the Windrunner Morphling actually getting a lot of farm to transition into these more later game damage dealers. If Dagger Nation is able to hold on, and like draw more or less even in the first and laning stage as well as into the mid game, which I certainly think they can. Like once again, they have a lot of good team fight, a lot of lockdown, decent amount of damage. The Warlock is just the Warlock, right? Golem wins
Just
almost
the
every team
Warlock.
fight.
Yeah.
I'd still have to favor them going into the late game. Unless there's some really serious morphing shenanigans where he has as much farm as Luna had in the last game.
Get Refresher, do both. Fatal Bonds and Gyrocopter Flak Cannon. That's the dream.
Oh yeah, that would be the dream. Can you like dual can you turn it to Warlock, pop Fatal Bonds, pop Refresher, Fatal Bonds again, and then use your ultimate again on somebody else? Or
I'm not quite sure if the morph actually updates if you use the refresher while in the morph.
yeah.
It should, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think that might work. The double fatal bonds into Flak Cannon just wipe the entire
30
team.
seconds to battle.
It will never happen, but we can dream.
Trying to think about how it would be coded, but because if you refresh the morph, then it would kind of be a little bit awkward with like turning back and forth, which you're normally able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. In any case, we're gonna see
We need to
some
find that out.
standard 2v2 rune
The
swaps.
battle begins.
Unless they can do something. I mean, there's a light circle, right? There's a follow burst, right? They're actually gonna secure this one up top too. So
Yoink.
3 for 1. Just what happens when one team has stuns and the other doesn't. So we do have a support Lina. Interesting 4 roll, but
Yeah, I was about to say, this is support what? Mid Jaro, bottom lane farming
normally
life.
see these kind of support heroes at least pick up a Orb of Venom. Because
Yeah.
especially in Lina, you have a lot of attack range to work with. You could really make really good use of that, but she opted for the Null Talisman. But I guess, well, that's okay, follow up stun. You do still right click for quite a bit, and Boyka might actually be the first blood right here, right now. Ah, not quite. RC Assassin, yeah, he couldn't body blocks. That was pretty damn close, and even Syndicate, normally decently tanky hero early on. A lot of armor, a lot of health points, but only down to 300, and guess what? He has no regen whatsoever. Boyko only
Regis.
3 tangos. I'm very light on that.
Yeah, region is overrated anyways, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally overrated. But yeah,
Obviously,
I agree.
people
Like
though.
the Night Stalker should be fine just harassing out together with the Disruptor. Just as long as you don't get double stunned, you're fine. And Morphling can always like the moment he reaches level 2 on the Morphling, same goes with the Disruptor. You just have so many tools to run them down. I'm not a fan of this Lina support at all. I don't think it's going to work out well at all whatsoever. At this point, you gotta ask, why not Lion? I mean, Lion is pretty much the leaner for the support position.
Yeah, I mean, certainly have to see how much they can do with that later on. Because I want to say Lina scales much better if you get her in the farm, like out of the core, the same as out of the support role, just because of the extra attack speed that you get. So you don't just rely on the spells. You can also add a decent amount of right click later down the line. So in that sense, having more heroes that can scale helps you if the game goes late, and that's what the plan is with just based on having a lot of teamfight control, a lot of counter initiation to be able to win enough teamfights, even if they're put in the defensive. Then yeah, why not?
Benchy, super low in the mid lane. There's no fly cannon to harass him out. Yeah. But hey, it's Wind Ranger. Very fun hero.
Very interesting to see Jacob to actually go for the rocket barrage levels in mid, because normally you can't really make really good use of that because of the short distances.
Yeah, they seem pretty useless actually. Like, what do? You last it under tower, I guess, if you need it, but it's hardly an incentive to level it.
There's blood. Should be drawn by lifesteal down bottom. It's an Underlord level 2, so still somewhat susceptible, but under his own tower like that, it's very awkward.
Yeah, Feast is just a powerful tool against them. And the finishing power together with the Warlock, and it should be fine. Like, Shadowbird is actually quite a good spell against Underlord.
Yeah, again, top lane. Couple of right clicks. This time they're just a little bit strong up against Boyka, but RC Assassin gonna die first, and Boyka is absolutely fine actually. Cause Finale already procced.
Yeah, no, pop.
No, pop, yeah.
But hey, he had a Tango running. That was really bad, actually. They should have locked down one of those kills. They knew Lina was dead anyways.
Maybe with your Venom, am I right?
Sentient Crystals trying to snipe, but he's on level 2.
What is he doing? Oh, don't. Can they glimpse him back? Actually, they could. But RC says he wants to get that kill. Boyka. Not sure about that particular glimpse, but still gonna set up for another kill. That's just very questionable at the best.
That is a big question mark.
Yeah.
That wasn't even greed. I think that was just straight up a bad play. Talking about good plays in the mid. Hey look, it's me, your power shot.
Oh, plenty of creeps to soak up the rocket barrage. He should be alright. Yeah, another power shot, level 3 already. Wouldn't run above levels, it's absolutely disgusting. Almost more disgusting than the 4 position Windrunner.
The entire hero is absolutely disgusting. Like, I just don't see the reason to have to basically have a spell that gives you 100% evasion and a movement speed bonus, like from level 1 on, and it has a cooldown of 12 seconds. That's just not fair.
Yeah.
And it slows your enemy. And it lasts for 3 seconds. It's just... Windburn was fine when you had to use it. Oh, well, just a Lina. Nothing to see here.
Well, that's what happens when there's a trial lane against a single hero. Chopper walking his way up here. I mean, at this point, Lexter doesn't really need any help whatsoever. And
Yeah, he will get levels away to the Underlord, but he should be fine in the end. It's more about establishing this lane dominance, and with the face boots, he can walk up to him and just check over him. And he's also super fast in comparison to him.
There's not too much that Warlock adds in terms of kill potential at this point anymore, compared to what Light he already has himself. So it's that he helps up top. The Fatal Bonds here, not exactly linked up to any other heroes though, unfortunately. Which would be ideal, but enough to keep Dante walking towards a shrine, I believe. Well, mid though. Look at this, Banshee's actually waiting in the wings as Night Stalker, tending to take over the lane, but that should be a very easy shackle if there was one, but instead, just running him down with that ultimate, with a power shot to the face. That reaction is a bit too late. They're making it work in 2 out of 3 lanes. Even top lane Disruptor, I mean, he certainly likes having these extra levels, even with Morphling being zoned out for a little bit.
Yeah, like, all the lanes are doing pretty good. Like, Wind Ranger are doing fine.
Oh, are they? Glimpse? There we go.
Yeah. Yep, and totally dead. Not a fun lane for Lina, that's for sure.
Might get Syndicate in return, especially if they start right-clicking Morphling a little bit. They had the pops from that cross finale were enough, but at what cost? Simpson. He's dead as well. They're just throwing a lot of resources in the top lane, but they're not really applying them correctly.
Yeah, it is a Morphling getting farm. You know what wins games? A Morphling getting farm. And your mid lane isn't doing good either. Like, your Gyrocopter is sitting on 21 last hits, already way far behind in terms of levels and kills. Like, yeah, it's totally balanced, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's just 450 damage.
It's like the only thing that doesn't make me rage about that hero is that at level 15, the other talent is better, so you don't see the power shot damage. Like, that's the only, like, or even then, it's just, you either press one spell against tank heroes and run around them and there's nothing they can do, or you just press your W and you just harass everybody out of lane. For 120 mana, 450 damage that you can't miss.
Oh, that's the assassin. Gets the stun off before the silence, but he's still dead. Chopper, not a whole lot he can do without mana. Start slowing it down. That's not gonna work.
Just kill him, dude.
I almost feel like the pause kind of rattled them a little bit more, because this is not the same. It doesn't feel like the same team.
No, this feels like a heavy misstep in terms of draft. And they have no, like, the only one keeping up right now is the Lifestealer, but if your Lifestealer is the way to win against the Morphling and the Wind Ranger, who are absurdly farmed already, then it's not going to work, especially with an armlet build.
Yeah.
Like, I just see him...
You can start looking for more farm to get the items that you need, and it will include probably an MKB. Maybe actually going straight for an Orchid's left Bloodthorn.
I would say Bloodthorn is a good choice, but I would go towards the Maelstrom in this game. It gives you farming opportunity, and you have something to pierce the evasion on the Wind Ranger.
Yeah.
It's also extra magic damage against Morph, so I think going for like a SNY Maelstrom build and then upgrade to an MKB as fast as you can, go full paper, and hope your stuns protect you with the Warlord. That might be the choice.
Yeah.
But Armored, I don't think is the way. I think Armored is going to be absolutely underwhelming. It only helps you toggling against the Wind Ranger.
Yeah, it seems really odd. There's plenty of damage over time from the Underlord coming in. Eventually, you'd imagine that'd be an urn from the Night Stalker. Feels a bit weird. At the very least, at this point, Banshee's taking as much harassment from the homing missile. He's dishing out with the power shots.
Oh, that plus 0.5 second homing missile stun will surely come in handy, right? Oh, it's so bad. They nerfed Jaro into the grind so hard with that talent change. It's if at least the other talent was remotely good, but 11 rocket rush damage is like, yes, it's you effectively 50% more damage, but yeah, no, no thanks. God, 0.5 seconds on a stun.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Like that's just a clear indicator of like, please, never pick the 0 again.
Well, at the very least he can farm was to finish up, picked up some flag cannon levels, and right now wants to farm this hero with the ultimate not connecting though. So, quick wind run also gives you movement speed by the way, it's not just evasion. That's still only just Lifestealer who's
He's
been comfortably top in the growth chart, but we already talked about how that's not necessarily going to be too helpful, but that glimpse into nothing will... that's the difference though, there's plenty of help, but this time it was bait. Chopper was level 6, Taylor wants with 3 targets, there's gonna be another burst strike in a second. For Syndicate, Disruptor already dead, and now they should be able to focus on the Night Stalker. If the Light Strike area hit, beyond that, double burst strike in return. He also got rid of the Pale Bombs, that's interesting. Didn't realize it would work that way, but he wasn't offing string. Oh no. Double kill for Chopper, and that's
that was a mistake.
This is the way you'd expect these kind of skirmishes to go.
Yeah,
Look
the
at
Warlock turning stuff.
Turn it around.
Level 7 on the Warlock. Now level 6 on the Lina as well, so they have some extra firepower against this morph. Yes, this is actually how the morph ultimate works. It is a dispel. It's a basic one, but that is enough for the fatal bonds.
Yep.
I think the big question is, you extended everything, and now your Lina is most likely dead.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This is just some very sloppy play.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sometimes. Yeah, he'll be able to deny the tower though. Oh, never mind! Catapult too strong.
Bye, Ralph. He found the Sand King. There's an armed or a lifestealer. That worked. Cool.
Seems good.
Seems good indeed. But yeah, top lane is still like deep primary war zone, but this Wind Ranger hasn't really entered the field yet, and I like the item he's going for. He's skipping on the Maelstrom, he's going straight for the MKB. That is playing against the Lifestealer, eventually finishing up like a Solar Crest. The extra damage just from that Soli is really good against the Gyrocopter too. You didn't necessarily
that statement.
Oh come on, you
going and the moment you started talking about it, he switched back to the Maelstrom.
He switched it twice from Maelstrom to MKB, yeah. And I was 100% sure he's gonna go with the MKB. And then I waited 2 minutes to make the statement, and then he fucked it up.
I was like wondering, hey, how long should I let you expand on the on why MKB is a superior choice and why you're smart about it before making you notice it.
Usually it isn't. In this game it would be. I'm not okay with this.
He's fighting though. Inside his Dice Storm comes to this power up, but Nuke's way too strong. They might still be able to get the Sprint Runner in return, but Senjin himself is not enough, not powerful enough.
100% evasion. Very funny hero.
Chopper's there, throwing out some heals. Another golem available in 5 seconds. So that timing is a little bit on a better side from the side of the Underdogs. Knowing that there's not this big turnaround potential available.
Oh, this sentry top feels bad. They tried de-warning this damn top lane for so long. They finally find one, and then you have like this kind of sentry here. Annoying.
Yeah, it happens. Unless you actually look at the replay, you'll never know though, which is the good part. So at least they won't feel the pain.
Feeling the pain? They just smoked directly under the ward, I believe. Yep.
Either way, they also scanned out just to confirm.
And saw the courier. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure they know this is the no-go area now. Yeah, Lifestealer already getting some extra HP on the board, you could say.
Well, at the very least, they can still smoke gank the tower. We'll wait for that to move out of the way. Same time, though, this Morphling. That's a little bit of trouble if there was a way to initiate on him, but... Oh, no. Oh, that would have been... crazy if they found that out somehow.
This is one Wild Wing Ripper on a mission board. We want Syndicate mid.
Yeah, he's alone. Walks closer to the tree line. He's end up being dropped if he just tanks up that missile, but it's already on this tier 2. Not exactly where you want to dive. Look at some runes. Yeah, they're drawing the line now. So it's gonna be 2 for 2 across the board. And bottom is still not dead just yet. Chopper's hanging around.
Yeah, how ironic. How ironic. The Wind Ranger getting defeated by a tornado.
I don't get it.
Wind tornado.
Okay.
He channeled it up and he had to back off from the tower because of it. Hey, the good part is the Wild Wing Ripper can't get glimpsed, so... like, that was literally the play, but...
Speaking of glimpse, there's gonna be much of that here if the Disruptor is dead. I would have hoped to catch a little bit more, but, well, I just have to settle for the support.
Yeah, they're gonna have a pretty potent push here. And for some reason, this Lina has farm now. Ending up with 60 last hits after this laning phase, and I wonder how. I really don't know. It's somehow working. It shouldn't, but it worked.
With the Yules, you can very reliably set up for stuns. Can have some defensive utility to work with.
Yeah, that's the most important part. They need to make sure like they can dodge all the stuns. There's not much you can actually do with the Yules this game in per se. I think a BKB is still needed for the Gyrocopter 100%. He's going... Wait. No. Okay. I get confused by his items. Never mind. He's going Dragonlance and then the Diagonums. I was like, is this some diffusal shenanigans? No,
what?
It's not. I get confused because there's 2 Battle of Elven Skin. He has a total of 3 of them anyways already. I'm like, yeah. But it's all good. He's going normal items. No more fancy stuff.
So it's gonna tank up, then Aghanim Scepter will also help your farm. It's an epicenter. Oh, right. Not sure what Night Stalker was thinking he would be able to accomplish there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Even with that ultimate trying to fly away into nowhere in particular, so he gets stabbed down. Very questionable. I guess I figured that they'd be after the rotation on bottom that they would split up again. That was not to be. They did now here, Sanking. With that kill in particular, just or that assist, you should say.
Dire's bottom tower
Getting closer
is
and closer to
under
Blink
attack.
Dagger too, and this is where things get a little bit more
Radiant's
interesting,
top tower
because
is under attack.
then you actually have a lifestealer target for him to invest into.
Yeah, getting D-Wilt done here in Chopper. He's... I know, like, Warlock is one of these heroes where you don't need any item, and you just basically wreck. Like, you have the Golem, of course, you have the Fatal Bonds, and he almost feels a little bit unfair to play against, I would say.
Haste.
Lifestealer. Already infested. Without the Blink Dagger on Sanking, but they might be able to intercept the Syndicate again, and they will find it.
Tower is under attack.
Still no nighttime, so I'll wait for him to see that happening. Or just get himself out after he did, so... Again, unfortunate timing there for Dire's side. This time though, they do at least secure the tier 1 tower that was brought low from earlier. Ralph, don't show yourself! 1 or 2 more kills will be all that Sinjin needs to have a Blink Dagger right here, right now.
Yeah, there's a little bit on the lifestealer. Still not an item I agree on. It's really good for killing Underlord, but it's really bad against a Wind Ranger. Like, you don't have anything that pierces evasion still. You have a Morphling that will just run away from you. Well, even though he has only Lincoln's Deny, so wounds is not even an option. He's just gonna keep running away from you no matter what.
Yeah.
And hey, look at that! MKB. Oh yeah.
God damn it.
You were saying? You have been fooled! I would love if I could tip. We should be able to tip people, right?
Well, why don't you write in chat and say that he's made a good decision? Sure,
No, that
there's
would be
nothing wrong with
unprofessional.
that. You finish that thought.
On the Underlord?
that's
Fast stuff, but oh, that's one reaction. Goodbye. Oh,
Back.
what? Oh, yeah, there.
Shackle still connecting those somehow. The Golem trying to turn us around, but Lifesteal is still dead. Now the Golem will be dead too. That's very interesting how that Shackle connected.
Gets the Golem in the end.
What a deal. Golem cooldown, 2 heroes down.
I was very confused with the Sand King, and I'm pretty sure Lifestealer was very confused as well. Because he dodged out the Glimpse with the Infest, and then it ended up the Sand King being sent back, and they're like, oh, I'm bailing on that one. And I can still ended up dead with both. So, what the items looking like? We have Desolator up. Still not even close to the Aghanims on the Gyrocopter yet, and looking at the network, it's not looking any better for him. We have both the Wind Ranger and the Morph on top. MKB finished up on the Wind Ranger as well as on the Morph. There's a full Lincoln Sphere up and running, and he's well on the way to the Eagle Song. 1,000 gold away, and he's there.
This is basically what they needed though, on the side of the Underdogs. Just make sure that your Windrunner as well as your Morphling having a really good time. Right now, they're on the path to success. If they can keep the momentum going, keep these item timings rolling, and
Dire's middle tower
basically
is under
fight,
attack.
especially now when there's no Golem. They know that that's been mucked up, and the
Radiant
Smoke and
are
Smoke action.
scanning.
They have the high ground advantage. Blink out on one, but Lena will drop.
Goodbye.
It also opens up the bottom tower, so nice timing on this.
Under attack.
Timing it together with the catapult wave
Radiant
as it reaches the tier 2
structures are
tower. This is really solid gameplay here from the Underdogs.
Yeah, like they're making sure they have the pressure on the map. They don't want to give anything to Gyrocopter. Like, you see Gyro already struggling in the mid lane over here. Like, he can't even finish off this tower probably because there's a TP coming in, there's a full smoke rotation or normal rotation coming in from the Night Stalker. They have complete control over the jungle because everything up here is warded. Yeah. This is silence.
First strike, but Shackle connects. Oh, silence on a Lifestealer though. There's also a Gyrocopter, and that might be a little bit too much. Ooh, from Lena here, dodging the homing missile actually. Bit of a mistake from somebody. Guess they just call it quits. Don't want to fight anymore. Ralph will please take the one of them. Okay, still being slowed down just a little bit with homing missile. That should be a death. Unless there's some mass reactions again, but 2 more hits from Dagger. We'll finish up that.
Gets finished off then.
So was just a little bit too much to chew. As,
A little bit too sloppy.
that's an illusion, my friends.
But they got it.
At least they didn't look good ablated.
3... Yeah, I guess. They committed everything else. Like, it could have been a Warlock Golem, right?
Dire's middle
That would be so sad.
Also got the tower and will not be caught up. Was the assassin, in fact. A little bit bold here, just walking back in again for some nukes. But someone else has to defend bottom. There we go. Lifestealer can pick up that juicy farm. Even though I'd like to... would like to give it to the Gyrocopter, but he has his own lane up top right now. Closing in on that Aghanim Scepter, but that alone will not save them the game. He still needs more time beyond that.
Yeah, they must make sure that they somehow buy themselves time, but I don't see that work. I don't see it work against this Wind Ranger, especially not with going for the Aghanims. That means he will always find kills on the map. And the most important tower will fall as well, so the last tower advantage they had on the side of the Radiant will be completely disappeared by then. Gets to deny, not bad, I give you that. That was pretty well done, beside the Wind Ranger hit. But immediately into the smoke, and this time there's no water, like, foreshadowing it. They're gonna have the exact same smoke rotation, and if they find like the Sand King or the Lena, that's a perfect pick-off, because that allows them to run at a T2.
Yeah.
But...
to the left they'd have that high ground advantage as well, but...
Oh, they see the sentry. They see the sentry. Yeah, they saw the sentry going down with the normal ward. Which is out of range, of course.
Now they're walking in, Senjin. Oh, can't quite get the stun off though. Syndicate able to walk away. The Golem not exactly in the best position here. Stacks almost certainly is. Get rid of the Sand King. Reaction time's just not there. There's a glimpse back on one. They did end up finishing off the Night Stalker, now follow up Yules. Ralph should end up dropping too.
Banshee will get out with his life. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost track, but... Again, pretty disastrous fight, and like even if looking at the fight recap, it's not looking good at all. Like, they just had such a good rotation early on, and now it's like all shattered into dust, and like, they're doing decent initiations again. Like, the moment they knew, oh, we got spotted in our smoke gang, is the moment we just turn around and go farm. But they kept going, and I heard a knee blade, I heard a dead Jaro. That's a good way to make some money.
Windrunner not dying there, Morphling also able to get out, so I was not alright. It could have been much worse, seeing how Sancting was kind of sleeping a little bit. Not getting any spell out, sitting inside that Static Storm. But now it's just a defensive smoke by the looks of it from the Radiant.
Defensive smoke, how often can you say that?
Yeah.
Oh, they want to make it work.
An aggressive one, and they haven't been scouted out, I believe.
They see the courier, or I believe they saw the courier over here. Nope, just was out of vision. How's the scan going down? It's Foreman smoke. But yeah, very wise by Underdogs to just stay at the tower.
Yeah.
I said stay at your tower, Ralph. Thank you.
This game turning out to be a little bit more back and forth than Underdogs maybe wanted to be.
I mean, the last one was pretty back and forth as well. Like
yeah.
the glaze back and forth, worked all the time. Don't know what you're talking about.
Well, no comment. Maybe you should listen to me then, if you want to know what I'm talking about. Because the difference is, last game was the Luna, who just eventually secured the win with a lot of net worth, and this game is the Morphling on the other team. So that should be that is the thing that Dagger Nation have to play around. Because Lifestealer certainly doesn't do himself any favors just sitting inside the Sanking for a minute or two. Gyrocopter is still not quite there with the Aghanim Scepter, so he's not really farming all that quickly. But so the question begs the question, how can they deal with the Morphling when he gets super farmed?
Yeah, he will be fairly tanky on the Gyrocopter, but that doesn't matter if you don't have damage to bring down the morph. And I don't see them working towards any silence. I don't think there's anything on the Lina coming in here, going for the Aeon Disc next after the Shadow Blade. There's Mantis Style coming out for Lifestealer because he needs it against the silence and everything. As you said, like what is your effective answer to a Morphling? Because this Morphling is already going into Lincoln Sphere, or has it and completed in fact, and the next step for him is the full BKB.
Yeah.
At that point, you just don't do anything. He already has a massive amount of damage. He can kill 2, if not 3 of your heroes already. That will change a little bit with the Aeon Disc, but it's not going to get easier in any way.
The only way to kill him is if you scout him out with a Lina Shadowblade, you'll still pop the Lincolns, then immediately have the Sanking Blink Burst Strike. And the moment he starts morphing strength, you basically have lost, and you can't finish the kill anymore. At least not in plenty of time. Or at least not before the rest of the dogs are able to react and come to help their friend out.
That's a DD morph with full agility and hits for 500. Ouch.
Also have a Medallion of Courage.
Well, also courageous here.
But the Radiant side, flipping up around the pit here. Ralph and Silicon on the outside. They have a nice little ultimate coming through. Roshan's almost there, but not quite. The Golem is being dropped. They can't quite make their way inside the pit though. Dante will be able to snatch the Aegis and Morton. Last does go towards the Radiant, but also sitting inside the Static Storm. Not enough to bring anybody down. The Epicenter kind of a little bit waste inside. The Syndicate still deals with Senjet. But the Golem still racking away. RC7 trying to be crazy. They did pop that. Oh, nice Fatal Bonds. Yes, they finish up. Get another hero. Dante in the front. Not sure about this one here. He's still doing some damage to your Disruptor friend and just plenty of control. Make it hard for him to finish up that kill on the Gyrocopter. He doesn't even get it. And he not only got himself killed, but also
Stop hitting me, Dante Senpai!
Oh my
this
god.
poor Disruptor died over here. He had full health and it was only the Fatal Bonds.
That is...
Oh, that hurts. That physically hurts as a support player. I mean... Ouch.
Everyone on stream can look at the replay right now. See how all of this transpired. I mean, everyone barely surviving on the Radiant. Fatal Bonds coming in big, and they were just a little bit more coherence. Like they were fighting together, whereas the Dire they kind of ran around like headless chicken. Then the Morphling going in this aggressively. Just not exactly
Really
position
cool.
they could do that. Nice little shackle though. They should be able to find the Sanking. He also has a presence inside of him. But
2 for 1.
You look at this in the backline. Windrunner being countered. Banshee will drop Daiki. Armor toggling through. Somehow inside the Static Storm. There's another Yule. Another Light Strike Array. Couple of right clicks. Extra nukes. Then should be enough to finish up the structure despite the roots. Oh my god, he survived with 28 L points. Another LSA. Lina continuing to fight, but Lifestealer will end up being brought down. RC7 finds one, another stun, another kill.
Yes. Okay, excellent. That was the perfect reaction, Ralph. I would have said the same. Okay.
What is going on, Palm? These team fights.
Raid boss Lina support. Excuse me. Wow. I'm gonna look at the fight recap. That is actually
Nightstalk and Morphling, I guess.
yeah. It's still favoring them quite heavily, but Lina kind of made them really work hard for that kill. Like, he did 4,500 damage. He did more than the entire team on almost more the entire team combined from Underdogs. Like, he made them work for that kill, and he still got 2.
What a game 2 we have at our hands here. Morphling super farmed, but his team not exactly ahead in terms of number, just barely. After all of that, Underdogs have lost the entire gold lead. And well, Gyrocopter, he has that Aegis. He can start farming, going towards a BKB, and then into damage items that scales so well. He already has the value lifesteal, so even if he gets locked down, has a little bit of extra health coming into him.
A big item as well finished up on the Warlock. And the full items to be delivered any second. There we go.
That is pretty big.
It is one of pretty much the best items, but Lina at the bottom. Oh, plot twist! Balance in all things!
Well,
The ginger fight.
1-on-1 can turn just like that as middle lane after detection extension. A bit greedy there.
Yeah, he had that Invis rune. I think he wanted to use it, but hey, surprise! That opens up the T2 tower.
Sitting there in Sandstorm. Like,
Yeah, it's like double effective, right? You can't get caught, right? Because you're Invis. Nobody buys detection.
visibility with invincibility, am I right?
It's like, isn't that the joke with haste rune? Like, if you're hasted, you can't get killed, right? Because you're so fast, and then there's like one stun and you're screwed, or an Invoker Tornado, and like, oh shit. Right, opens up the high ground for them, and now's a Crimson Guard.
2 years down, a couple of seconds, all they need to do is a sizable amount of damage here. I think it's fair, but that opens up the Fatal Bonds. And gotta be a bit careful, especially between the two tankiest heroes. So a lot of damage you can share between them. Yeah. Will survive and back off as soon as Sanky comes back, wisely so. Still a very strong team fight that they have, especially with that axe now, the Warlock. Not sure if they scaled it out yet, but we'll find out sooner or later.
I'm fairly sure the Warlock is the only reason that they haven't pushed high ground yet of taking a axe. Because I feel like if they want to, with Ralph and the Morphling especially with how farmed this Morphling is, they can freely run on that high ground whenever they wish. Like, Skadi is about to be up, he has full travels now, BKB up and running. While he has a pretty low base pill HP, he will always be able to morph with BKB and Linkage. Like, they can't catch him off guard unless they perfectly disable it and stun him instantly with the Lina Yules. But that is really hard to do. DD rune. He just hits for 570. It's not much. It has some damage.
Literally nothing.
Like he keeps it morphed on agility. Like some glow. I like it. Remember when you had to spend mana to morph? I remember.
It's a long time ago.
Remember when you could just morph in the chrono because screw you, Void? God, Morph was broken.
There we go.
Well, DD equals invincibility, am I right?
That was pretty well played, I'm not gonna lie. Just zap down like this and give a half-health delta point, just not enough against this person. Gonna look to try and turn this into more. Ralph on the side, but Banshee working up against the Dagger with the focus fire, doing a lot of damage, but now it's ended and the right clicks out there in turn. They're just swiping through them one by one. Oh no, still taking a fight after. Your one hero that's super farmed is taken out of the picture. Yeah, the balance of power shifts. 90k net worth off the map, you're gonna feel that in a team fight.
Yeah, that really hurt. That was your Morph gone and a horrible engagement afterwards. Oh wait, down the mid lane we go, I guess. Time to get our own 2-2 done. And they really need the tower gold. They just got a 4k lead with this. They still have some golems, but also back to protection to work with.
For a few seconds, this tower will most certainly fall. Especially once the Lifestealer gets in with the Desolator. So Lifestealer not normally a tower hitter unless he goes for this exact build. Going into the Soul Cuirass next, and they still have a few more seconds to work with. At this point, I mean, even if they knew Morphling had buyback, they know that he certainly doesn't want buyback with only 10-15 seconds on the box, so they'll be able to get rid of that tier 3 tower and walk away. Back though, glimpse back though.
Oh, it's Lifestealer
though, like they need the Morphling in front lines. The rest of this team though, linked up together, and Lifestealer is pretty damn tanky. Brought down almost fully, but now the BKB turns into Lifestealer, BKB and rate. As the Gyrocopter has to take out the front lines. Lifestealer infested inside of him with not a lot of health points, and we'll get not one, but both of them as Banshee comes in from the other side. We're done yet though, RC Assassin, well, with the Fatal Bond still going.
Literal assassin.
Of their own. Now trying to walk away with the Shadow Blade.
Watch out for the sentry.
Quite fast enough to actually catch up.
Not quite. So, almost the aftermath of this. They lost both their calls, so I imagine they lost this. Did you see it? There it is.
Look at the objective. Roshan is back, so if I can get that, it'll still be alright.
But they get forced back already with the Morph to the T3 on the bottom lane, so it's gonna be delayed. Oh, Chopper, you're playing a dangerous game here. There's a ward.
By the time that Gyro and Lifestealer are back up, they can move towards the Roche pit, and by that time they'll also have the Golem ready to go.
True, and they need to. They like stuff like that with the Morph can't happen. I still feel like it's a little bit greedy, completely staying on full agility against the Lina. I think he realized that too. Once he has a Skadi, it's fine, but it's still quite a mile before he reaches that. Yeah. I still need some good amount of money, and Rush would help with that, definitely.
Yeah. Still a little bit of extra strength Morph now, so 400 health points rather than the 1000 it was on before, but oh, DD Rune once again, Banshee picking it up them with the bottle. With the Aghanim Scepter, I mean, you don't have any damage reduction anymore, so it's gonna hurt quite a bit. 300 a pop, plus these extra Monkey King Mob procs.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, he even completely skipped all the Maelstrom, but it's something to watch out for, because you pretty much get a proc on all of the hits. The Monkey King gives you 75%.
Yeah.
In the focus fire, that's nothing. Like, you get a proc on every hit. End of story.
Well, it would be true if it was 17%, but it's 75%, so only one hit every second time.
Very funny.
From Valve map works. Koika, well, he's dead. There's still more fighters here. Yule's on the Windrunner. Let's get the BKB off, but they didn't even commit for this sort of follow LSAs. And I still Golem there. Everyone, they're all fatal bonded together. They're also protected by the Crimson Guard. They get the Lina, but now there it is. Get good coming into play. Starts wrecking way, but the Flacken himself kicks around. Only still hanging on one. The rest of his team behind them Morphling dies, but still doesn't try up. There it is, burst back only on one, but the Epicenter is still doing its part. The extra Golem as the Warlock dies will finally turn the tide of this fight. They did pay a lot more than they used to, but they might still be able to finish up this Morphling.
Oh, he has some Morph available. Morph!
He can start to morph with the waveform up to the high ground. Turns into the Gyrocopter for a few more seconds. Enough health points to get himself out. Maybe!
Lincoln's! Oof. Sweaty palms. But yeah, that was pretty even night fight, and actually came out ahead on the side of Underdogs with 1,000 gold here.
Yeah, it's
Lots of BKB shot, and they get rid of the Warlock Golem, not to forget.
Yeah.
Like, that's down for the count for 2 minutes. But they might give the Rage away if they're greedy enough. There's no vision established yet. It was a really good smoke gang from the other side.
At the end of the day, it was still Morphling getting a lot of that gold, which is good, but it
Unhealable
can also be
damage.
bad. What?
That's 200 damage you never get back on your tower.
But I mean, Morphling's always gonna have the same issue. Like, if he does get caught out at low health, like he's sitting below 1,000 again. Even, he has the Scardy on the way, I guess, so it's gonna get a little bit better. But if he gets zapped, all of that network is down the drain, and the rest of his team is just not powerful enough to fight without him.
Every coin helps.
Yeah, he basically Morph is the only thing that keeps them in the game. He's 25, like he's not gonna grow anymore now. Like he can swap out the Arcula for like 1 damage item, which most likely will be the MKB at one point. There's also an AC in the works. Gyrocopter, I believe, is going towards the Satanic. So no butterfly just yet, but I can only think like, what are you doing on the Morph? What is your effective tool to get your team enabled in these team fights? Like Wind can easily kill 1 or 2 supports, but you have to bring down those big targets. The Gyrocopter is the main problem. You can always kite around the lifestealer. That's not the biggest issue.
I think just kill the Warlock before Fatal Bonds or Golems come out. I think that's the key issue here. Without the Golden Counter initiation, it would have wiped that last fight for sure. Even with the Disruptor going down first. Like, you can't burst Lina because of the EM disc. Sanking would be, the second choice. And yeah, at this point, Gyro feels like he's a little bit too tanky. Same for the Lifestealer, because of that Lifesteal as well, that both of them have at this point.
Yeah. And Satanic will just make it worse. The moment he gets the Satanic, it's the moment where Gyro becomes unreachable to kill us the first hero in the fight.
Yeah.
What's your next item, Wolf? He's going for the Butterfly. Well, that's a little bit questionable, considering there's already 1 MKB up in running.
Alright, said, can burst strike through the root, but the Ult Scepter's still there, trying to set up, but they realize it's too late. Moment of, nice burst strike play, actually, Windrunner, super low health for now. Evasion, keeps us safe. Gyrocopter in the front lines here, Golem actually being the stun being dodged from Dante. We need to start moving the strength here. Golem hitting quite a bit, but now BKB ended on Gyrocopter. He's actually dead first. Thanks to the Sanking here, they can't quite get the damage on target. So trying to focus on Morphling without having the initiative. They're dropping 1 by 1. Taiki is next, Lil's back, no more rage. Gets out of kinetic field, but stunned up, double kill.
Rocket.
It's the homing missile from the Gyro. She finishes him off, and this is an absolute disaster. Gonna get rid of all these golems too. It's an extra 300 gold. Eventually.
Taking a lot of damage, but yeah.
It's gonna take them forever because the golem's freaking tanky, but still.
And I was on level 24 on the Warlock.
victory.
Just imagine if he's 25, then it's getting even worse. But yeah, this is a free rage. They also just burned the buyback on the Gyrocopter. I'm gonna get that up. So yeah, you don't have buyback on the Gyrocopter. Who do you have buyback on? You have one on the Lifestealer. You have one on Warlock and Sand King, so it's not like they're completely without buyback, so the next fight will not end the game. But yeah, smoke. I hate it when my teammates do that. They do it all the time. It's so annoying. Like, why? Please. You're like AFK mode. I'm gonna hit Roche, and then I don't know. You're doing something else in your mind. I'm like, say, what happened? Why is Roche running out of the pit now? All the time.
Well, things are turning dire, if you will.
Stop it.
Warlock coming back, 70 seconds on Golem as well. Like, now, in a fight like this, Morphling should have all the time in the world to make sure that he can start morphing at the right time, can get the BKB off, and even if he doesn't, with the Aegis Immortal,
Yeah, you can screw up at least 2 times.
it's gonna be
Which
very
counts
hard
for
for them to defend this. Flyguard push now. And they have
Fatal
to try.
bombs on
No
2
other
heroes
choice.
only.
Be back in a couple of seconds.
I'll be back. Yeah, this mob is full raid boss mode now. he has this Crimson Guard behind him. There's a pipe. There's 4 stuff to save him. You have to pit always down for the count. Oh, he just lost the Enders Gondolina.
That's not a deal. Walking away, just trying to chase him and get good. He's engaging into the fight. And that's what stuns, but where's the damage? RT Assassin has to come in and brings more flow, but not flow enough. Now the BKB starts to right click away. The news so there's a BKB from Gyrocopter ends.
That's a dieback.
That's Static Storm. That's the Golem. Turning things around, but it's too late. You've already lost 3 of your heroes.
And no buyback on the Jara. Because he wasted it earlier. He does a lot of damage with those golems, but
The epicenter of Hiddlebot's still going. Damage is there, Cheese being eaten. Alpha's still tanky, Dante still has the Aegis though, and with all of these shots fired, I think this might be it. Lifestealer, he's still trying. Still is Senjin here, but the hell, yeah, he was raged. I was like, what the hell, why is not get stunned?
yeah, it's also really hard to see the rage. Not the easiest spot,
Focus
but
fire, Daiki. Be very careful. 60 seconds still on Quack and Gyrocopter, even longer on the golems. All these skirmishes took them a while to actually get the racks, but I mean, at this point, you can just, yeah, stay at max agility, respawn if you need to on the Morphling. They do have sort of like a few health point, extra heals to work with.
well,
max
stop
agility,
killing
you
your
can
team.
certainly have enough damage to kill these buildings. On the BKB charges, how long this fight wins. Static Storm also locking down the Sand King as they do focus on the other targets first. Going to bring them down 1 by 1. Life steal down for count, 112 seconds without buyback. Woodrunner almost dying, but almost doesn't really get you anything in Dota. And well, the writing's on the wall for this one.
70k.
Slowed down as he turns into life stealer for a second. What a player here,
10,000
Dante,
gold.
coming in big on this ball thing in this game.
Still can't kill the golem, but that's one technique on him.
Well, where the other GG will have to be called, and this game, as a result, will go into a third series. Or the series will go into a third game, I should say.
The 3rd series? Wow. The good old best of 15. GG comes out. Yeah.
I don't know, this game was a little bit weird for a number of different reasons.